Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Brooklyn Double Shade Low Voltage Mini Pendant. This is the 161183. That whole Brooklyn collection is awesome. There are multiple pendants, there are semi-flushes, sconces, all kinds of things. Check them all out. They're wonderful. Let's get into a lot of the details on this. So the overall height of the fixture body, and that's going to be the part from where the cable starts to the bottom of the glass, that's your farthest point, is going to be 6.5 inches high, and then it's coming in about 6 inches in diameter, and that's going to be kind of a metal to metal shade. Overall height, now we're talking about the distance from the ceiling to the bottom of the fixture, bottom of the glass, is going to be arranged, because what's going to happen is you're going to be able to take this cable and feed it into this canopy. It's going to coil up inside, so it's going to be as short as 15 inches overall height and as long as 80, which is going to be able to cover quite a few of you guys. If you need this to be longer than 80 inches, drop me a quick email. Say you're looking at the 161183 and you need it to be X long, 100 inches or whatever. I'm going to take your email, I'm going to send it over through Hubbardton Forge's Customs Department. It's going to come back with an answer. Adds a little time and money, but we do it every day. It's not a big deal at all. Okay, let's get into a couple other things. So let's talk about canopy for a second. So canopy on the ceiling, this is coming in at about 4 inches in depth, okay? And the reason why it's on the thicker side is inside of this it has a transformer. It's going to transform your line voltage in your house or building down to low voltage going through a cable that's perfectly safe to touch. Canopy is 5.5 inches in diameter, something you should know. It's going to go over your standard 4-inch junction box beautifully. You see there's a bracket on here. I want to show you more information about this and how we do it. So we're going to look at the installations instructions. These are the same papers that will be in the box when you get this. On that side of the screen, midway down, there's a link. It's going to say, click here for installations instructions PDF. So open that up for me. So that's going to show you a full parts list. It's going to show you how it all goes together, which is super easy. But it's going to show you details about the canopy and what it looks like inside. And you'll want to know some of those things. When you do feed this into this canopy, feed this wire in, right here at the top is called a gripper. And see how I'm pushing that in with my fingernail? Just pushing it in. That's releasing it so I can push it in. And then if I do want to back this back out during my installation, you can't bring it up and down all the time. It's just when you install it. You can damage the cable if you try to do this all the time. But anyway, if you do want to bring it down after you've installed it, you would be pushing that piece in, and that's going to release this, it's a strain relief, and allow you to bring it back down again. So I think that covers most of your canopy on this. Let's hop into a couple other things. So we'll talk about finish on this, because that's going to be a big deal for a lot of people. Whenever you see on Hubbardton Forge's site or our site where it says choose your finish, it's going to encompass most likely the canopy and then whatever holding the socket. So, and then the parts that are holding the socket. So we know that this little piece just above the socket is part of this whole canopy idea or fixture idea, right? So you'll notice there's a pull-down menu for that where it says choose your finish for the fixture. So that's going to be, on this case, it's dark smoke. So I notice that both of these are in dark smoke. You can see that pretty easy. Now, the first piece on this piece is also in dark smoke. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this down. We're going to use these beautifully milled aluminum pieces, just so you know. Hubbardton does not skimp when it goes onto parts. I used to work in the jewelry industry, and these are incredibly well done as far as retaining rings go. So anyway, so these are going to be used to basically keep the shade onto the socket. So now, we'll put this on first. So now what we're going to have is the canopy and the top of the fixture. See how beautiful that works together? And you know, we'll talk about finishes in a second, but I like the fact that I can see some variation on this because this is dark smoke, and this is an opaque finish. This is actually modern brass, so I can see the little dimples, but I can't really see a color variation. And I love this combo. It's a soft contrast, just in case you wanted to know. Okay, so now we have our socket, we have our fixture body, and now we're going to take our secondary one of these, and this is the other shade, because remember this is a double shade, and we're going to put it on there. We're going to use another one of these retaining rings, and we're going to spin that down over the socket and kind of lock it into place a little bit. So now you've got that. And you know, the cool thing about this is that you can loosen this up and you can move these around. So you can have them any way you want. If you want to have it just like that, or you can spin it so there's a space going in like this. It's very cool. So tighten that up to kind of lock it where I want it to go. Then you'll notice on the bottom of the glass is another one of these aluminum retaining rings, and that's already embedded in the glass, and you just spin it on like that. So what you end up with is a very cool fixture at the very end, and it's just going to hang from that cable. Okay, so that's what that's all about. So let's go back for a second, and we need to talk about bulbs and sockets as we do in every video. So this is going to be using what's called a G4 socket, and you can see it hiding right here. So it's a porcelain socket with two little holes right there. It's going to be able to accept a G4 halogen bulb. If you want to go, the max you can go on this, you can go to 50 watts. And it's a dimmable fixture, don't forget. So put it on a dimmer, especially if you're going to be using a 50 watt halogen. You don't have to use a 50 watt halogen. You could scale that down to a 40 or even a 30. However, I would go for the 50, and you can find those everywhere. You can find those on Amazon or a lot of hardware stores. This will also accept a G4 LED. You're going to have to scout around on the internet a little bit to find that, but they do exist as well. So let's kind of recap what we talked about a minute ago. So we're going to have our pull-down menus for the fixture. That's going to be the first one. So we know it's the canopy and this part. The second pull-down menu where it says the accent, that's going to be this one right here. And then glass, which I'll get into a little later in the video, opal glass is always going to be your Hubbardton Forge opal white. And it's an opaque glass. You can't see the bulb through it, so you don't have to worry about that. So I want to touch on Hubbardton Forge's glass for just a second. Hubbardton Forge's opal glass is not just another piece of white glass. This is actually hand-blown glass. All of their glass is hand-blown. And to begin with, it's actually a clear piece of glass to start with. And then they come in, they blow a second layer on the inside of white glass. Then they come back and they do a third step where they sandblast the entire outside. So you'll notice when you get these in your hands, they actually have layers of glass on them on the end. You can see them on these two pieces. And it gives it this really soft, semi-transparent, kind of milky quality. It's a soft glowing piece. Really, really pretty. You know, they're really obsessed about details at Hubbardton Forge, and a lot of people don't. I don't think they appreciate it out in the world, but you appreciate it because that's why you guys are here watching this video. There you go. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you're on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, do me a favor, look over on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to see a lot of red tabs over there. One is going to be the Finishes Help Guide. When you're done with this video, go over there and open that up for me, and you're going to see a video at the top of that page of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a color chart just below the video, so scroll down a little bit, you'll see that chart. You'll notice there are pictures that have the letter A on them, pictures that have the letter B on them, and I'm going to be talking about that range you can see in variants on there in that video. So it's really important to watch the video, use that chart. When you're done with all that, come back down to that chart. You can click on any of those pictures and see a lot more samples of Hubbardton Forge fixtures in that finish. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in dark smoke, click on dark smoke. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in vintage platinum, do the same, and so on and so on and so on. That's a great way for you to see a lot of Hubbardton Forge stuff in different finishes and really take advantage of that, okay? So our showroom in Vermont has over 350 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's On display page on our website. It's going to be back in the red tabs over there. A lot of good things in that section. Check out. So when you open that up, you'll see it's all divided up into different sections like dining pendants and outdoor lighting. We're always adding to that. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. They don't even have a showroom like this. Nobody does. And they use this as their showroom when you guys come to Vermont to visit us. So lots and lots to see here. You can see all the different glass, all the different finishes, all the different fabrics, all of those things. In addition to that, we have a clearance center. So the clearance center stuff are returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. That's an amazing deal for you. If you guys want to take advantage of that, you have to come here to Vermont to see us. And when you do me a favor, measure all the kind of things about your project and what you guys are doing. So the most important thing is measure your ceiling heights to begin with. Measure distances between junction boxes and like windows and ceilings and those kind of things. So if you're looking at sconces on the wall, you can see if they're going to fit for you. If you're doing pendants over a kitchen island, measure the distances between those junction boxes. Widths of tables, kitchen tables, dining tables, lengths of tables, islands, all that good stuff. And also do a couple more things. If you guys have some tablets or iPads laying around, take pictures of all these things. Take pictures of the kitchen, take pictures of the projects you're doing. Bring that in so we can kind of go through those pictures together and we'll be able to see what you guys are up to, okay? And also the boxes and clearance stuff. floor clearance stuff are basically packed for shipping. Don't forget, these were supposedly shipped out. So the boxes tend to be on the bigger side, so bring a decent size SUV if you want to take stuff home. It's a really good opportunity for you. When you buy your Hubbardton forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. We're the only dealer that offers 90-day returns and no restocking fees. That's 3 months after you receive something to send it back, and there's no restocking fee on that. Some larger items and custom things, and it's usually going to be big things on pallets, are going to be non-returnable. It'll always tell you on the page for an item if that is the case, so always keep an eye out for that. And we also offer a rush program. So to get all these different metal finishes, Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock. They generally take about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it's really, really inexpensive. If you want to know more about that, just drop me a quick email and I can clue you in on details, okay? So our showroom in Vermont is open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to drop a quick email, you can do that all the time. And that's going to be at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. Or you can call me during business hours, 802-446-2400. So thank you for stopping in today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.